This episode is brought to you by Amazon. The holidays are here, and you know what that means. It's time to get your friends and family the gifts they deserve. Take the stress out of shopping with Amazon's great deals and low prices on a huge range of items from toys to tech and much more. Whoever you're gifting for, Amazon has great prices on everything you need this holiday season. Shop early holiday deals now.
You are listening to the Smugglers Galaxy Podcast, my favorite podcast to listen to on long flights across the galaxy.
This is the way.
We wanted men.
Welcome to episode 216 of the Smugglers Galaxy Podcast, your favorite Star Wars podcast, your Smugglers in the Galaxy. I'm Glenn. Jason's over there. We have no clue what we're going to talk about this week, but it should be fun anyway. How you doing?
Don't remind me.
Jason's like freaking out. Oh,
Don't remind me. Just go with the flow. Easy going. Easy going.
So it's been a minute since I've seen you because we hung out last night.
Yeah.
Annual chili cook-off.
Annual friends and family chili cook-off. Person who won first place won last year too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so he's a double champion, so to speak. And then your wife usually gets first place when it comes to Mac, but this time I overtook her and I got first place myself.
Yeah, I think it was rigged.
It's not rigged.
I know. I was a little disappointed with the tickets. I thought you would do your normal tickets where they're all specially made. And I asked Josie, I'm like, where's the tickets? Who has the tickets? And she's like, it's just the coins on the table. I was like, your dad's slacking. And she just laughed.
Yeah, it was an oversight. And then at the last minute, we were gonna make tickets that were pink for chili and yellow for Mac.
Mm-hmm.
But then my wife is just use the coin.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. But for the winter social, we'll have custom tickets because I know people like to collect those.
It's all swag. It is amazing the amount of
all swag.
It's all swag. I'm gonna collect it.
So yeah, we'll have legit tickets for the winter social. But...
Right. I'm wondering if I have to make swag for that thing because we're making swag for everything else.
No. it's the holidays. Don't do that. Just chill. Enjoy yourself. Don't stress out about making swag for the winter social.
Yeah. We make swag for everything else. Actually, my wife's got the swag bug, so it's been fun to watch her do it because
it's fun.
Yeah. She went from not being into it to oh, we got to make swag for everything.
Of course.
Yes. So we're preparing swag for something coming up. So that I'm kind of a little bit concerned because we ordered it and I had on the website, I did an account and now it's not coming up on the website. So I got to call them on Monday and be like, where's my stuff?
Did you get a printed receipt? Or email receipt?
I have it. We did it through PayPal, so I at least have that.
Yeah.
So, but it was one of those, see, this is what happens when you decide to drink and hang out at night. And then about 10 o'clock at night, you're like, we need to figure out that swag. And you do it at 10 o'clock at night. And then it's 11. And by the time you're done, you're just exhausted. And you're like, okay, cool. I'm good. It's ordered. And then you don't save anything. And then the next day you're like, did we really do that?
Yeah, you did.
And I can't find it. So
well,
it takes about 4 days to produce the swag. So I'm assuming we'll have it in a couple of weeks, but yeah. I don't know. And I even told my wife, I'm like, do not check out as a guest because then you can't find your order. And we still can't find our order.
Yeah. Try the history of your browser. That could be
I
another
did
thing.
that, and then when you get to the history, it's like log in. And I have a Mac, so you know how those go with when you put a password and everything in, it saves it. So I know it's the right password, I know it's the right everything, and it just the place is just like I don't recognize any of your emails or anything.
Well, swag is great.
Yes, swag is awesome.
Best is handmade swag,
Oh, I love the handmade swag.
which is what I'm doing for the winter social.
Mhm.
I need to know how many people are coming because right now I have 25, and if we have more than 25 people, I'll need to up that number and start production on more. So we'll see what happens. But for now, I got 25, which I think is probably a good number.
Yeah, I think 25 is a good number.
And if I have to make one for myself later, I'll just do that.
I don't know. Well, yeah, your house would hold more than 25 people.
Yeah, I think we had about that much yesterday.
Yeah, especially with that nice new deck you got in the back.
Yeah, that's a party space.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bonus space. It's a
It
hangout
is.
space. So,
It's nice.
did you pick anything up this week?
Um,
Because I already know the answer to that one.
yeah, actually, you gave me my birthday present a couple of weeks early. You gave me a prototype first shot Phantom from Micro Galaxy Squadron. So
I did.
I'm very appreciative of that.
Now you got the thing you've always wanted, and you don't have to
Yes,
ask for the first shot of the Phantom anymore because you got the thing you wanted,
exactly.
the exact one.
Exactly. So it's awesome. And I appreciate it. And I wasn't expecting it. So now it's in my case. It's in my prototype case. I also picked up, I put that, like, you know how it is. You get
It's
back from
also
it. Go ahead.
before you move on from the Phantom, it's also locked up in your collection now forever because you don't give away things that people give you. So
Exactly. It's not going anywhere.
it's stuck there.
Ha ha ha. Tough luck, suckers. And then I also picked up a mini rig. My in-laws were at a um antique mart and saw one of the mini rigs, a wheelie mini rig that I don't
Yeah,
know. It looks like a cross between an AT-AT and something. I don't know. Um, and it was like 25 bucks. And I was like, it looks good. So they got it for me. And it's in
still has stickers
actually,
on it too.
yeah, it has all the stickers. It has all the, I mean, it's in really, really good shape. And then my wife, my mother-in-law hands my wife the bag and it has the receipt stapled to it. And I'm like, did you pay him? She was like, I didn't know I was supposed to pay him. I'm like, you probably need to pay your parents for this.
Oh,
Because it's like, especially when they give you something with the receipt, it's only like 25 bucks. So I'm like, you need to pay your parents back.
it's a good thing they didn't buy something for like $1,000 for you.
Right. Yeah. That would have been really awkward.
Can I work on a payment plan of $5 a week for the next 4 years?
Yeah, they would not have been like, hey, we're doing this for you at $1,000. They would have expected a credit card payment or something.
Hmm.
I think that's all I picked up. Did you get anything?
Yeah. Um, I got the ornament, the Darth Vader ornament from
Oh
Hallmark.
yeah, I did. Yes, I got to go back to that too.
Oh, you didn't finish what you picked up.
I forgot that I picked up stuff. I forgot I picked up ornaments because it was after last week's show
But
that I
that's not
ran to
the
walk.
only thing you picked up.
Oh yes, I did not. Like Jason's
How'd
like
you forget
most
that?
excellent. You had a most excellent pickup. Um, I also did. I went by Hallmark and I picked up. I was expecting to have a ton of ornaments because they did the October release, and I just had to throw an ornament. So I got the Darth Vader ornament because that one looks really cool. Um, how they like actually 3D printed a little Darth Vader to put in the card back.
Yeah.
Um, so I got that. And then I had this is like something that's it shouldn't have taken 6 months, but I had to pay it off. And then it took forever for the guy to get the piece. But as soon as he got it, I got it. So I got a first shot death from Bill and Ted, which is one that I've been missing because I don't have the hard copy of it. So I got the first shot death. And I've got the only thing I'm missing for him is the cloak, which I don't know if you could tell a cloak's first shot or not. Um,
It's cloth,
yes,
cloth coke,
it's a
cloak.
cape cloak or whatever.
He was
But it
produced
come,
though, right?
huh?
Is he produced or he's unproduced?
He's produced,
Napoleon's the only one that was unproduced.
correct.
So
So
you can get a cloak and just throw it on if you wanted to.
right, but it covers up the sculpt, which is it's an awesome
Mm,
sculpt. So
that's
why would
true.
I want to do that?
That's
So
true.
I got one step closer to having the Bill and Ted collection complete. So the guy that I got it from was like, man, I need to get some hard copies. I'm like, dude, I don't know where you're going to get hard copies because I think I got them all. Unless they pop up. I think they pop up. One popped up like a Genghis Khan popped up about a year ago. And the guy he put it on a Facebook page to kind of figure out what the cost was. And because he was bringing it to a show. So I don't know what happened to that Genghis Khan hard copy.
Lost now in collection.
Yeah. If I'd have had the money that I could have thrown at it, I would have, but it would have been half of what I paid because I told the guy, I said, it's probably worth about $2,000. And I don't know where it's at.
Dang, it's lost.
It's lost.
Erased from existence. Essentially.
I really do feel with the Bill and Ted stuff that it's become my job basically to collect it all and catalog it and what does a museum do? Like museum I don't know. I lost where I was going with it a long time ago and I was going to try to be smart and like have the only what not catalog, but what it
comprehensive collection,
I guess, or something like that. I'm sure people are yelling at us on through their
I have
phones.
no clue what you're talking about, so I can't even
like what museum they put it together and they
catalog, not a catalog,
not a catalog, but
you're trying to have a comprehensive collection of Bill and Ted items.
Yeah, something like that. Sure. Oh yeah. Yeah, something like that. Also, my wife picked me up one of these little
excellent
mini tri-logo Boba Fett's. Like
is it the custom ones that they do online from the mini mocks?
She got this off eBay, so I'm assuming it's the same guy, but I really don't know. But it's a tri-logo like mini Boba Fett. I'm sure I could show it to Narayan and he would know exactly where the guy came from. But I mean, the Boba Fett, it's essentially the same thing as the Christmas tree ornament. But she picked that up for me a couple of weeks ago.
Right. I got that Christmas tree ornament this week and I opened it and I immediately just started laughing with joy. It was such a cool ornament to see a little Vader on a card back, which it's thick acrylic, so and it's printed on. And I think they did a really well job with it. Really good job. So kudos to Hallmark for cashing in on nostalgia and doing ornaments like that. And then I immediately went on because I just liked it so much. I thought it was so cool that I immediately went on eBay and I bought the sand person for $55. It's limited to 3,500 pieces. And pretty soon, when the secret's out that these things are being made, people are going to try to get that sand person because, I mean, we're collectors. We got to collect them all.
Right.
Whether that's unhealthy or not, we got to do it.
Got to catch them all.
Star Wars collectibles.
No, and $55 isn't bad for that because that's like probably a $20 piece to begin with, $20-$30 piece to begin with.
I think. And like I said, as we get closer to the holidays, as people decide that, maybe I want a tree full of these vintage figures, they're gonna the price of that's gonna go up.
Right.
And so right now it's hovering about $50, $55, but I could see it hitting like $100 around Christmas time.
Yeah.
And then I wonder if it's gonna drop after Christmas, but you never could tell with those limited number ones because like the Rancor one. Is it the Rancor or the Wampa that is worth
the
like
Wampa is like $500?
Yeah, and then the Rancor one's like $1,500.
I don't know. I didn't pay attention to the Rancor one.
Yeah, I think it's another one of those limited ones, but I think it's up there. I think it might be the most valuable Hallmark Star Wars ornament.
Jeez. Yeah, they get expensive. I got a bunch of them. I keep telling myself, it's like, do I still want to collect these? And I just keep doing it. I keep every year got to buy a couple because they're just cool. It's just cool nostalgia.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking and they're all there's some for 100, but they're all in that like $50 range. So that's pretty cool. I mean, it's a cool piece. I've been fortunate enough to get some of the limited edition ones, and it's definitely people realize it. I got one of the the Boba Fett's because they did a Droids Boba Fett one, which was like ultra limited edition. And even the lady at Hallmark was like, "How did you get that?" Because I couldn't get it. I'm like,
I remember being
crazy.
in Celebration Anaheim, and I had my exhibitor badge pointed out, and I said, "Can I get whatever the ornament was?" There's
It was Bo-Katan with the dark saber.
so I was trying to get that one, and they said I can't have it because I'm an exhibitor. So I flipped my badge over because I had paid for the 3 day, whatever it was, 3 day pass, and they're like, "Oh, okay, here you go."
Yeah,
I had two badges essentially around my neck. And then I was like, "Do you have the Ahsoka one?" And they pulled out their spreadsheet. And I don't know, I was maybe 20, 30 in line.
uh-huh.
But the way the line snuck around, there was a booth that you would pick up your ornament from, and you would go around and you would pay for the ornament on the other side of the booth. And so I was waiting for my turn to get the ornament. And then I asked for Ahsoka, and they looked up their sheet and they're like, "Oh, yeah, we got seven left." So they had brought over some from a previous, I don't know if it was San Diego Comic Con or New York Comic Con or Toy, I don't know what it was, but I lucked out and like I got one of seven that were available at Celebration Anaheim for the Ahsoka, and it comes with the Clone Trooper helmet.
That's awesome. I don't think I got that one. No, but I had the same thing happen because yeah, it was like two sides of the booth, and you walked around one side, and it was the same thing where I wanted the probe droid because I was a limited edition, and they're like, oh yeah, we got them, and then by the time I got to the front of the booth, they're we sold out,
Sold
and I'm
out,
like,
yeah.
why didn't you tell me that on the back end? I would have bought it.
I
Um,
regret not getting that one because I think I had the opportunity to get it and I skipped it, but I should have picked that one up. This is
yeah,
such a cool ornament. But with all those little arms and spindly things hanging down, I was just afraid it was going to break. It just takes one dog brushing up against the tree and the ornament falls and snaps. And
yeah,
I have
I've
that
had that
problem.
happen. Yeah,
I have the problem with the Jawa and the R2
yeah,
because they're connected because the Jawa's, plugging into R2. It's snapped in half. So trying to
oh
keep
man.
that sucker together has been impossible.
Yeah, I've got an R2 and a C3PO that's broken, and I haven't glued them back together for some stupid reason. I don't know why, but oh well. And I
But
think I
now
got
that
another one that was like a clone trooper, and when I opened it, it was all busted up. But it's one of those where you get them at such a good deal that you just don't say anything.
mhm. That Darth Vader uh vintage carded figure is now my favorite ornament. And
Yeah,
I hope they do the original 12, the first 12,
it'd be
because with
cool.
with Vader we at least need a Luke Skywalker, and then you need your Han, and you need your Leia. You have to do an R2 and C3PO, but I'm like, are they going to get to the point where they start making like R5 and Ponda Baba or Walrus Man? And like how deep are they going in this? They can't do all 77.
Right. I would see them doing at least the first 12 because that's 12 years or 6 years worth of ornaments. They can, at
Yeah.
least 12 years worth of ornaments if they want to push it like that, or they could just release them all at once. Because they tend to do that with like the talking ornaments. They'll release like two a year, and then the whole set's out, and you're hooked for 3 or 4 years waiting on them to release them all. And
Yeah.
it's a cheap ornament compared because the talking ones you were at 40-50 bucks a piece, and these are $20. So it's a lot easier um, concept.
Um, I'm frustrated. Well, you mean you're talking about ongoing ornaments? I'm frustrated. They only made Zeb. They never made anybody else from Star Wars Rebels.
Right. They did do an Ahsoka Sabine, but they didn't do a Rebel Sabine. And I don't know why they only did Zeb. I guess they did Zeb.
But
As
it's
much
an
as I
animated Zeb,
right, it's the animated Zeb, but Zeb would not have been my first choice to start that line with.
right? It would have been Ezra. I mean, he's the
It,
main character,
right, Ezra or Sabine or Kane, he would have been like the third or fourth. He would have been the last, not the first, in my opinion. But
right?
I have that, and it's a killer ornament. I think they've made a chopper, but it's been like the Walmart
Yes,
quality
yes.
uh
Cheapy,
ornament.
cheapo.
Yeah, it's been cheap. And those Walmart ones look fine, but they're just not
It's not
Hallmark
the
quality.
keepsake ones,
Right.
but
But and also they're like $5 versus 20.
um, but yeah, those are the only things I picked up this week. I'm trying to remember. I don't think anything else has come. I've got I bought the retro collection episodes 2 and 3, but I told my wife you can keep that for Christmas. So I bought myself a Christmas present,
Yeah,
and
you were a couple of
that's
whiskeys deep when you did that.
I was two.
A couple.
I guess so, yeah. But I wasn't drunk, so.
No, you weren't drunk.
But no, I saw that it was sold out in Hasbro Pulse. And so I said, it's only available in two places. It's either Shop Disney or Hasbro Pulse. And if it's sold out in Hasbro Pulse, eventually it's going to be sold out on Shop Disney.
Yeah.
So,
I
and
did huh?
and they're making, sorry, just to finish this up, Hasbro seems to be cutting back production and they're making more limited numbers.
Right.
And once it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah. I don't blame you. I mean, those are some cool looking figures. I know Jerry had posted the Jango Fett one, and it looked good. I think
Yeah.
might have had a removable helmet, but I don't.
I don't think so.
You don't? Okay.
I don't think so.
No, and I'm trying to think if the Sabine had a removable helmet. I think she might have on the retro collection. I don't know, but those retro, I guess it's because they don't have to go as detailed with them, and they look incredible because it's a nostalgia thing. And I've told my wife with my tattoos, it's either you got to go really cartoony with the tattoo or you got to go really detailed. There's no in between.
Right.
Because if you can go really cartoony with it, then you can take more liberties with it versus more detailed. Because if it's more detailed, it's got to be highly, highly detailed. And if you mess one thing up, it ruins the tattoo. Where with the cartoon one, if you mess something up, it's a cartoon. So I think that's the logic with those, or at least in my head canon. I don't know. I did the Sabine, the deluxe Sabine with the wolf or the howler or whatever. I did order that one off of Amazon. So I guess hopefully Amazon won't cancel my pre-order like they did my Sabine helmet.
Mm-hmm.
But on Steve's from Hasbro, his Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
I had posted, I'm like, I sure hope they fix the helmet on this one. And that's going to be a head swap versus a removable helmet.
Yeah.
So I was impressed that he actually answered me, and he was just
he answered.
Yeah, he did. He answered my question. So he was like, well, and he kind of got nerdy with it because he's like, the tolerances on a figure that small, you had to make a bigger helmet because the tolerances and blah, and it would have been too thin. And then he was like, oh, it's going to be a head swap.
That's awesome. We got an exclusive straight from Mr. Stevie himself.
Dude, I know we were talking about it all through the week because he was giving away the Rebels from the Ghost, a set, and he had hidden himself somewhere in his Instagram.
Yeah.
And I had kind of played with it, but it was like, I don't want to spend 3-4 hours looking for something and then still lose it because it was to be entered into a drawing and only I think 50 people found it. But come to find out, he put his picture on the box of a Slave One, like was like way back in one of his lists that he does. And I'm just like, there's no way I would have found it.
No, it was a tough contest.
Yeah. But I mean, that's why it was, not many people got into it. But yeah. Hey, kudos for him. I mean, he keeps people involved. I mean, he's doing a lot for the brand. So keep it up, Mr. Steve.
Yeah, he also commented, this is part of the news, but I'll just go through it now because we're talking about Mr. Steve and we're also talking about, the retro collection a minute ago. He replied to someone else's comments and said that for future releases of retro collection, we're going back to classic characters.
Ooh.
It's probably best for that line. I mean, hopefully we'll get like a Dr. Evazan to accompany Walrus Man because we don't have that. So to have like a vintage looking Dr. Cornelius Ezavon would be cool. And it would be even cooler if they gave him like a onesie. Like don't make it screen accurate. Make it look like a vintage figure, like Walrus Man and Hammerhead. Like give him a onesie.
Right. Well, that's what I was saying. It's like it doesn't need to be insanely detailed. Make it like it used to be. And we're gonna love it even more because you guys didn't go detailed with it.
Right. And that's what I'm afraid they might do is try to go detailed.
Right. Now I think the retro line needs to be simple. It needs to be straight out of the 70s, and we're going to be in love with it. I kind of wish I collected those more, but I don't know why I didn't. I didn't get into them, and I guess it's one of those where you just buy what you love. I mean, I know they did them for the Ahsoka show. They did a bunch of them, and they did them for Mandalorian. I got a bunch of those. The ones from Ahsoka look great because it's Rebels.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Um, Mr. Steve also been has been commenting on social media channels that the pipeline will disappear from the toy reveals and presentations going forward.
uh-huh.
I think a lot of people enjoyed to see what was coming, but it was the only line that they did that for. They didn't do that with Marvel or Transformers or G.I. Joe. It was just Star Wars to give people an idea of what's coming down the pipeline. But I feel like some of those presentations have fallen flat because we've already seen that it's coming. So here's the reveal of the figure we told you is coming. And
Yeah.
it just takes away the excitement, especially when you're only revealing three figures and we've seen all three figures.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that because I would go through you're going through the news and you're like, I've already seen all this stuff. Why are they doing it again?
MCM London is happening right now
Ooh.
with Hasbro. It's another toy convention or whatever. I don't know if it's like San Diego Comic-Con. But they did reveal a couple figures for Black Series. We're getting Sebulba from episode 1. Sebulba.
Which you probably didn't hear that.
What is that?
That was
I
his
heard it.
it was his pod racer or my version
Oh,
of yeah.
okay. Hold on. Let me turn on my pod racer. There you go.
Yeah.
There's your entertainment. Luminara Undali, which is a Jedi, and Shakti. Those two will be coming to the Black Series. And then they revealed Lieutenant Callahan. Uh, I don't know if this is, I thought this was part of the E-Wing, but they said it's going to be available. So I don't know if it's the figure that's packed in or if it's just another figure that they're going to release because there's two E-Wings. So I don't know. I thought Lieutenant Callahan was part of the E-Wing,
So there's two E-Wings that they're coming out with?
just the one.
Okay.
And I thought Lieutenant Callahan was part of it, but the way some of these reporters online post these things, it's unclear to me whether this is like a full release that's going to be separate from the E-Wing. But I'm like 99% sure Lieutenant Callahan from Ahsoka is going to be packed in with the E-Wing.
I'm pulling it up right now just to look. I know that the droid is, but I don't see a figure.
Oh, okay, so maybe the droid is the pack in, right? Okay, and
Yeah,
Lieutenant
they've got the
Callahan is separate.
right.
She was pipelined. Okay,
Yeah. So there you go. The droid comes with the E-Wing for $100. That's sold out on Hasbro Pulse.
and then they also revealed Ara Singh with different accessories and a new card back, which they call film out.
Mhm.
She's already been released, and she'll probably have the same VC number, but she had like a backpack in that first release. She's not going to have it this time. She's not going to have lightsabers like she did the first time. It's just going to be her and a couple of blasters. But they are re-releasing her. She was part of that Phantom Menace wave that kind of tanked the line. It kind of stalled
Uh-huh.
the sales, and because of that, they started to step away from vintage collection
Yeah.
back in the original run.
Right. Hey, good for them for re-releasing stuff. I know it irks people, but that's what people do, I guess.
And then some. I wrote some really harsh words here, so I have to scale back what I wrote because
Uh-oh.
I'm not happy with what Hasbro did this week. They reorganized the company. They centralized their marketing department. They laid off 100 people. Some of them are 25-year veterans of the company.
That sucks.
Um, and like they're just doing this so that the executives can get their bonus at the end of the month. Who cares if we let 100 people go? We get our $16 million bonus.
Right.
Uh, but yeah, they cut back on that. They reorganized the company. I always say that executives, when they reorg a company, they have nothing else to do or they don't know what to do. It's
Right.
well, sales are diminishing. What do we do? Reorganize, make ourselves look like we're doing something.
Yeah.
Because on the other hand, right after they announced this reorganization, Hasbro released their Q3 report. financial report, and they had revenue decline of 15% or a loss of $1.28 billion. And they did say brand partnership was down 17%. And on their earnings call, they did call out Star Wars twice and said that they lost money because of this toy line.
It's
Which
because you're
is,
putting crap out. That's why.
well, it's that the shows aren't resonating with people.
Right.
And with the talk last week, we were talking about how there's rumors that they might abandon the toy line altogether.
Right.
And I'm wondering if that's a tactic on Hasbro, if they went to a couple people and said, "Hey, we're thinking about dropping this toy line." So the word gets out from a grassroots level, and then they go on these earning calls and say Star Wars is losing money. I'm wondering if it's a negotiation tactic. If they're trying to diminish the value of the Star Wars line and say that the Star Wars line is losing money.
Right.
So they're forcing Lucasfilm and Disney to come back to the negotiation table and drop it to, 15-10%.
Dude, that would be awesome if they could do that. I mean, that's
w-
tactic. It's business. I mean, why wouldn't they do that? I mean, I don't know.
And I wish I had this on my 2024 bingo card.
What's that? Glenn gets a Star Wars tattoo?
Teak from Battle of Endor will return in Skeleton Crew.
That's there. Hey, awesome. That's not the
That's the little guy that runs really fast.
uh-huh.
And he hangs out with got diabetes. I got diabetes. Go get me my insulin. And then Teak runs out
Oh,
and he grabs the insulin and he comes back and gives it to the guy from the show.
right, right.
That's canon, but don't watch the show because just trust me, that's canon. I
What's
got
funny? Have you
diabetes.
seen the memes where it's like it's that dude and Paul Rudd and they're like the same age?
Yes. Yeah, like the Golden Girls, they were like in their 40s and 50s. They're not 70.
Right. They're like our age.
But yeah, Teak is native from Endor in Old Canon. Who knows if he'll be, part of that. Does the skeleton crew crash on Endor?
Interesting. That would be fun. I mean, it'd be a good way to bring the Ewoks and everything back into it.
Yeah,
Or
better
would
than what
now,
they
well, wait a
did.
minute. Huh?
Better than what they did in Rise of Skywalker when Wicket and his son are just like looking up, and it's like, what was that for? Where
Right.
did that come from?
It's to get people to say, "Oh, look, Wicket's back," and it's a 30-second clip, or not even 30 seconds. I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, no, I think it'd be fun. See what happens. Oh yeah, now I know where I was going. So we've talked about this. So it was the forest moon of Endor, not Endor, right?
Right, right. Endor is another planet or something. We'd never see it,
Mhm.
but the forest moon is a moon around another planet called Endor.
Right.
But they do call the planet Endor. So I don't know, maybe the planet's Endor and the moon is Endor too. Who
Potato,
knows?
potato.
Maybe the planet is Andor and the satellite planet is Endor.
Right. And everything that's been happening in the Andor show is happening
On the planet
on
that
the planet.
surrounds that Endor surrounds. I think we just figured that out. I think we could take that to the bank. Thank you for listening to the Smugglers Galaxy podcast. We're ending the show because it's all been settled.
Yeah.
No, the Mandalorian movie is finished filming,
Right.
so that's in the can. And
And then it's going to
then
take them 2 years to edit it.
edit and special effects. And I'd
Okay.
prefer it that way. I don't want any like cheap. Some of the special effects in Mandalorian, the TV show, is great, but other times it's like we probably could have had another 2-3 months for that one.
Right. I guess I
But yeah,
just don't realize how long it takes to edit a movie.
it's a little bit different than a TV show. So,
Mhm. I'm
but then
looking
again,
for. It sucks that it's going to take 2 years to put that out. I mean, I know we all want the best quality, but
well, at this point, it's about a year and a half.
okay,
I mean, it's yeah, a year and 8 months. Okay,
okay,
doing that.
fine, fine then.
On the other hand, Daisy Ridley had commented separately from before the news broke. Things are evolving. I continue to be very excited. There will be an update soon about her movie. But then we learned that Stephen Knight, the creator of Peaky Blinders, who was working on the script after Damon Lindelof left, he left as the movie's writer, which writers come and go. It doesn't mean anything. But the report was that Kathleen Kennedy wasn't happy with the script.
Right.
And so he decided to part ways.
Yeah.
It won't be released 6 months after the Mando movie, like previously thought. So there'll be some space between Mando and Rey,
Okay.
which is good.
Yes. We need it because that's what I think messed everything up between with Solo and Rogue One and 4, 5, and or 7, 8, 9.
Too
They were
close.
too close, and we were just like, yeah, we're good. We
Yeah,
don't need
I think Star Wars should be in the theaters, and I think Star Wars should be a monumental experience.
right,
It should be a moment in cinema. So I think the 3 years between films was probably for the best for the franchise.
right,
And having things so frequently kind of diminished. It forced people to make decisions that were probably not creative. It's like, let's think about this for a while. Well, we don't have the opportunity to think and consider it. We just got to go. So just do whatever. Throw Wicked up there. Who
right.
cares if it doesn't make sense?
We got to kill 30 seconds. Here's Wicket. Maybe we'll
Yeah,
sell some figures.
which they never made.
Right.
They never made a Wicked or Wicked Son from Rise of Skywalker.
Oh well.
Oh, I just got an image of the box from The Ghost.
Oh, where'd you get that from? Oh,
It's online.
where is it?
I don't know, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Comes with the Phantom.
Sweet. Phantom 2. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's gonna be so freaking sweet when I get it. Thankfully, it's coming in December, so I don't have any trips planned.
Um, and then I had a question, a topic, and then I have the correct answer for said question.
Okay. Well, before we go off on that, I was looking on Hasbro Pulse's website, and the Echo One has only it's got 30 days left, 35 days, 36 days left, and it's halfway there.
It's been what, a week, 2 weeks since?
I don't know when it was released.
Because
So,
you had 2 weeks to fully fund it to get Tully.
okay.
So the clock is ticking if they don't fund that thing in 2 weeks. There's no
Wow.
tiers on that sucker.
Right.
It's all inclusive, kind of like if you fund it, you get it all. If you don't fund it, you don't get it all.
Right. I'm looking, yeah, 2 weeks to Tully. I don't see where the deadline is for that. But do you think that's a smart idea to do it like that? Be like, it's all or nothing?
At least you know what you're getting.
Right.
Because like the value increases with the tiers.
Mhm.
But if you don't make the tiers, and some people were like, this is not a value to me because I didn't get Ariel Schultz with the cantina.
Right.
And so people are like, it's a value if I get 6 figures. It's not value if I only get 5 of the figures.
Hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. I do like okay, what I would like is I like okay, you order it in the first 48 hours, you get the special item versus a tier.
Right.
Because they did that with the DeLorean because I think you got Einstein if you ordered it within the first 24 hours or something, and they could have done something really simple, even with the cantina, that sticker sheet. They could have been like, hey, first 24 hours you get the sticker sheet, and then I think
Mm-hmm.
it would make people order it faster versus
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks. But anyway, go on to your. I was looking for the Ghost online, but I guess I should Google that thing.
Yeah, you
Anyway,
either Google it or pay attention to the podcast that you're on right now.
what? I'm on a podcast?
So, what Star Wars movie would you like remade by the Muppets? And keep in mind that every Muppet movie has a main human. So, who is the human? And remember that I have the right answer. So, give it a
Okay.
shot.
Ooh, I'm thinking. I want to say Force Awakens because it just needs to be remade. And I guess you could use either Ray or Kylo as the main. I would use Ray as the main human.
Would you want Daisy come back And would like Kermit be Finn or Poe? And
You should make Kermit Kylo, and then you could still have Daisy Ridley be Rey.
they have Miss Piggy be Ray if you're gonna do
Yeah.
Kylo because they're the dyad. They're the two guys.
Well, then you'd have to well then we'll take Finn back. Put Finn. Yeah, you do either for Finn or Rose. I think it'd be funny if you just got like a random side character and did that with it and then made them the human
Hmm.
because it would make no sense. And it would just
Well,
be like, what's going on?
I applaud you. You get A for effort, but the correct answer is you have to remake A New Hope with Kermit as Luke Skywalker. You can have Fozzie Bear as Chewbacca, Gonzo as Han Solo, Miss Piggy as Princess Leia. You bring back Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi,
Oh, of course.
and you bring back Hayden as Darth Vader. And there you go. There you've got your Muppet remake of Star
Oh,
Wars.
now would you have Hayden? You would have Hayden in the full Darth Vader suit.
Yeah, and without James Earl Jones, I would just let Hayden do the voiceover. And people will be like upset. Well, how'd you do this? But
It's number one, it's Muppets.
it's
So
Muppet.
you can't take it too seriously.
No. Or maybe you do a part where you see the chamber because it's a remake. You don't have to do a shot by shot thing.
Right.
And you see the meditation chamber and it's Hayden Christensen and the Darth Vader helmet's coming down or something like that.
Hello there. I don't remember having a droid. And you
You
don't
got
have to make it like a 2-hour movie. You could do it in like 30, 45 minutes, I think, and then do it justice.
you would do Beaker and Benson Honeydew as R2D2 and C3PO. Because I mean Beaker's already doing the meeps. So it's like R2D2. It writes itself. And
Jordan, get on this.
that's the right answer. And they've already done I know they've done minifigures of all those characters as
Yeah.
Star Wars, but like let's do something with the Muppets and let's do something with Star Wars. We need to do something fresh and new.
Do you think the Muppets would resonate? I mean, I know
No.
I've heard I listen to a lot of Disney podcasts, and Muppets have kind of been a hot topic because of all the stuff that's going on at Disneyland. Or I mean at Hollywood Studios rather, with Monsters Inc. coming in. Do you think the Muppets resonate enough?
No, but I also think that they don't resonate because Disney doesn't know what to do with the Muppets. They had the Muppet movie with Jason Segel, which worked,
Right.
but Muppets Most Wanted didn't. So I don't think Disney really knows what to do. But I have heard rumors that a lot of actors want to work with the Muppets.
Mm-hmm.
It's like their dream to work with the Muppets, and that's why a lot of them come on Sesame Street. But yeah, Disney doesn't know what to do with the Muppets, and I think arguably they don't know what to do with Star Wars. So
Right.
let's throw the two things together.
And then we don't know.
Instead
And
of
then it'd be a total cluster.
Yeah.
No, and was Most Wanted the TV show that just came out last year? Or
No,
what was
Most Wanted was a sequel to the Muppet movie. It was a movie.
okay. I thought the TV show was good that they put out. But they done it. I mean, it had enough cameos in it to make it worthwhile watching. Um, but eh, freaking Muppets.
Yeah. I hope they do something with like if they do take down the Muppets 3D theater, I hope they throw the film itself up on Disney Plus or something because I do think that needs to be preserved somehow.
Yeah.
We need a Muppet channel on Disney Plus.
There's enough stuff out there. You could do it.
Yeah. You got all those movies, you've got the TV shows, you've got the Muppets, the 70s show with like
Yeah. Dun,
all those
dun,
guest
dun,
stars.
dun, dun, dun.
It's time to start the
Dun, 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 dun,
thing.
dun.
It's time to light the lights. It's time to
I
meet the
don't-
Muppets on the Muppet Show tonight.
Right. I've also heard on the Muppet Visions 3D.
It's time to put on makeup. Sorry, I'll stop.
If
It's
you
time
sit
to
on like
dress
the
up
first
right.
the first couple of rows, there's like penguins and stuff. There's like a totally different show experience if you're sitting on the first couple of rows than if you're sitting in the back, because there's like an orchestra pit
Yes.
and there's stuff happening in the orchestra pit that you never see unless you're sitting on the first couple of rows.
You're talking about Muppets 3D, not the Muppet Show.
The Muppet Vision 3D or
Yeah.
4D or whatever. Yeah. Um, Anywho, no, I got to get back into. I want to talk about the Disney cruise when we get done on all this other stuff, because I think I think I was too sour last week when I talked about it. But that's what thing I love about Disney is there's so much stuff that you don't know about that you can discover on your own. But anyway, where are we going, Jason?
Well, that's pretty much it for the show. So let's finish up with more cruise talk.
More. I know you're so tired because we're all like, we were just got off a Disney cruise.
Wait, you were on a cruise?
Yeah, totally, man. No, I think I was a little bitter last week just because, and I don't know. I need to like you were saying, sandwich, do a positive, negative, positive thing. And I think I was just all negative last week or led too much with the negative stuff. But I mean, all in all, it was a really fun trip. And now that I've been able to decompress from I really miss being on that ship because it was like, and I think also with training for work, it didn't mess up my trip, but mentally I've been gone for like 5 weeks. Not mentally, but physically from my house. So it was just an odd timing for everything. But no, it was a really awesome time. It was nice to be able to reconnect with my wife and blah blah blah. I did talk to Disney on with the cabana incident, and they did tell me they had a couple of things, and I said, hey, shopping, and they were like, well, we're not supposed to do that, or that's not part of the cabana experience. And I'm like, well, he could have said, hey, that's not what we're here for. But they had let me know that because of the weather, they need to come up with a better plan for the cabanas and be like, hey, with the weather, your experience is going to be changed and we're going to adjust everything. And they're like, we need to come up with a plan like that. Um, and they apologized profusely several times, and they did give me 50% credit for a future cruise for the cabana. So the cabana was like $500. They gave me a $250 credit for a future cruise, which I was happy with. And they apologized as far as, oh, they should have handled this on the cruise ship versus now. And I don't know what there was they were like, it's a lot that they have to go into to figure it out. But as far as the cruise goes, man, it was a ton of fun. And this is funny because I keep bringing it up. It's like when you see the Grand Canyon for the first time, which of course Shannon had the pictures and your story of the Grand Canyon, where you went and you couldn't see it. You don't appreciate it until weeks later, and then you realize what you saw because there's just so much to see and do with it. So book a Disney cruise, people, or a cruise or something. Go travel. It's fun. I've gotten yelled at by my wife, yelled at by my wife for trying to book another one already. She's like, you got to wait.
Gotta wait.
And then our wives are trying to get you to come on one
That's
because
not
you're just
happening.
like, no, I don't want to be on a boat.
I don't want to be on a boat. So we should just move on from that. I don't want to hear this anymore. It's harassment.
Oh, but it's fun harassment.
I don't want to be on a boat. And I very much appreciate Jerry stepping in and saying, I don't want to be on a boat either. So I'm not the only one. Everybody's got their preferences.
It is. Oh, your wife was talking last night about how she wanted to do like C-list Disney stuff. And I think that's what a Disney cruise is. Let's see, because it's like you want to go do the oddball stuff that you never think of doing because you're always trying to ride all the rides when you're there. And it was like, you know what? I think the cruise was like C-list Disney. Not that it's C-list Disney. You're not riding the rides. You're seeing the characters. And on a cruise, you're still in Disney, but you're not. I got to go ride the rides. I got to go see the castle. You can go and spend time with the characters and do the fun stuff, the oddball stuff, versus being worried about riding the rides. And you can have as much Disney or as little Disney as you want. But
I'd rather just go to Scotland.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I'll go home and visit the motherland.
Are you Scottish?
I've never been.
Are you Scottish?
I'm pot Scottish.
Oh,
Hey,
hey,
I want to go up to the Highlands.
are you gonna buy a kilt?
Uh,
Maybe.
No, no,
No.
no. I don't, because I think there's like crests and stuff. Like the different patterns are associated with different families and different clans, and so I've never done all that research, and I don't want to buy a kilt that doesn't belong to my family's clan or whatever.
Right. The Soko clan.
And there's a rumor that yes, they were in Scotland, but they were from Scotland from like Norway.
Oh,
So it goes up to even the Norwegians. Like someone from Norway at some point came over to Scotland, and then they came from Scotland over to the US.
wow.
So I don't know. That could be Viking.
That'd be even better.
No, I prefer to be Scottish.
You drinking out of a horn and
I'll drink scotch, not the horn. Mead from the horn or whatever.
right.
But yeah,
Yeah, you're not a beer guy. You're an apple
no.
cider guy. And
Are we good with the cruise now?
I think so. Are you happy with the cruise?
Are
Am
you
I?
happy with the cruise?
Yes, I'm happy with the cruise. I won't talk about the cruise anymore until I book another one.
Yeah. What about the cabana? Are we good with the cabana?
I'm good with the cabana. I'm happy with where they were at. It would have been nice if they would have said, "Hey," which is what they're working on. Your experience is going to be less because, like, we couldn't even go on in the water because the water was so rough. But it would have been nice if they said, "We're going to give you 20% off because your experience is 20-30% lacking."
Yeah.
So,
But
yes,
everything else was wonderful on the cruise.
everything else was freaking
In
wonderful.
conclusion, you
In
had fun.
conclusion, yes, I was happy with the cruise.
Did you ever listen to the episode with Jordan and I?
No, because I
No.
haven't been listening to podcasts because I'm driving a truck with another guy, but
Oh,
I did buy. So this is okay. So this is how old I am. My truck doesn't have Bluetooth for my new job. So I went and bought a Bluetooth speaker. My wife looks at me and goes, "Why didn't you just buy a Bluetooth where you could plug it into the aux?" And I'm like, "Those don't
yeah.
work good." She's
Yeah,
like,
they
"No,
do.
they're Bluetooth." I'm thinking FM, like old school FM modulators.
No, no, no. I had one of
she's
those. They
she's
work
like,
well.
yeah. So I'm gonna keep the speaker, see how it sounds, and then maybe buy the thing where you put it in the aux. So I just had an old moment where your brain just I'm just gonna buy a Bluetooth speaker and be done with it instead of buying the thing to plug into the aux because I'm like I don't the iPhones have no aux out anymore,
Yeah.
headphone out. So I was like, I can't do that. And she's like, no, we buy the Bluetooth thing. And I was like, doggone it.
When I was in college about 20 years ago, 24 years ago, 25. Anyways, I had a portable CD player because my Ford Tempo didn't have anything other than a tape deck. And then I had a portable speaker. So I would put that in the passenger seat and listen to CDs that way because I couldn't connect it to the radio.
Right. I used to like where you had the cassette adapter because then you can control. It was like it got 3 times louder because then you can turn it up on your CD player and then turn it up on your radio. So the radio felt louder because it had more input. But old tech. We're
Old
old,
tech.
Jason.
You're only as young as you feel.
Right. Which I feel young.
I don't feel old.
No. We're getting some grays. You're getting some grays. I see old
I've had
pictures of
grays.
you from like a couple of years ago, and I was like, oh, Jason looks so young.
Yeah, I get more and more gray every day.
It's
So
the kids,
teenagers will
man.
do. Teenagers will do that to you.
Teenagers do that to you.
Well, is that all there is?
I think so. So I'm going to start listening to more podcasts because I'm going to be driving a lot in my new job.
And you can
Yes.
start with the last one that you weren't on. Was it 213?
Yes, because we're on
And then-
216. Yeah.
And then we got called out on the Mickey Mutineers podcast
Yeah.
with Jordan.
With Jordan for your Cerveza Cristal. That's the wrong one.
Oh, that's right. This is yours.
That's my
koozie.
I use all my koozies. It's great. I love swag. Like we were talking swag last night. and it's useful swag. Give me some piece of swag I can use in my everyday life, and I will love you forever.
Mm-hmm. That's the challenge.
Yes. And it's kind of tough
It is.
because you either do a piece of homemade swag that everybody loves and they never use, or you do a useful swag.
I love how we started talking about swag and we're ending the podcast with a swag. It's like a sandwich, and we didn't even plan for this. It's just happening organically.
So thanks, Jordan.
Thanks, Jordan, for bringing it back around. You didn't even know you were helping us with the structure of this episode 215 of the Smugglers Galaxy Podcast. 16. Is it 16 or 15?
We're at 16. So
216.
216 of the Smuggler, your favorite Star Wars podcast.
Here, edit this back in so I don't sound like an idiot. 216 of the Smugglers Galaxy Podcast.
You know I don't edit.
I know. That's the joke, is that people will at first think that we missed an edit, but there is no edit.
There is no. Only time I edit is when I have to go to the restroom, but I should put like music in it, like some people do.
Yeah, you could do like, oh, we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. But you don't even know with Jordan's episode because I edited it.
Yeah.
Because we did build in like, we'll be right back. And I just cut all that out and made it seamless. When you left, I had your password and stuff for Zoom, but then it asked for the 6-digit code.
Oh, I remember getting that email.
So I couldn't even use it. So I ended up using my own, and we had a 40-minute limit. So we had to come back 3 times.
3 times.
Yeah, but we edited it all together, so it's seamless. You don't even see or hear that there's a gap between.
Wow, Jason,
Anyways,
you're awesome.
That's not where I was going with that. I just was saying that kind of it's great when it's seamless.
Right.
There's no point of that. We'll be right back.
Exactly.
I don't like it when YouTubers are like, okay, we'll see you tomorrow. And then the next second it's like tomorrow. And it's like, I didn't see you tomorrow. You're editing this for yourself. You're not editing for the audience.
Right. Or you see like YouTubers and you think it's an hour-long video that they shot in an hour and they change shirts and you're like, what did you do, man? What's going on? Or they'll shave or something weird. Anywho,
thank you for listening to the Smugglers Galaxy Podcast. If you could, please leave a like and a 5-star review of the show anywhere you listen to podcasts. It really helps us out and points people to our show. You could follow us on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Send us an email or message us. We love feedback. We love to make you part of the show. Our email address is smugglersgalaxy@gmail.com. Thank you to Alfonso Riviera for the Smugglers Galaxy logo. And thank you to Levi Waterhouse for the music. People, collect for the love of it. Hashtag vote with your wallet. Rebels was better than Bad Batch. Pass on what you've learned. Be a positive force in the collecting community. Happy Halloween.
this is the way, man. You're gonna start some drama with that one. But I agree.
Rebels was better than the Bad Batch.
Rebels was best Star Wars content in the last 10 years.
Wow.
Maybe not. Yeah.
You're a little biased.
Yeah.
But I think Rebels was better than Bad Batch.
Yeah, it was. It had better character development.